Hi everyone, my name is Tamara and this is episode 48 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my knitting, crocheting, and bookish life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. I hope you all are doing well. It has been almost exactly 4 weeks since I've seen you guys. We are expecting major snow tomorrow. I will put a graphic in here. But anywhere from 12 to 18 inches is what we are expecting. They're thinking we haven't gotten this much snow in over a decade. So I wanted to get a podcast recorded today so I could get the podcast onto the interwebs for you guys tomorrow in case you're snowed in sometime this week, like a lot of us will be. So I will go ahead and do some admin stuff, and then we will talk about the big pile of stuff that is sitting right here. I'm sorry if I make any funny faces or do anything that's a little weird. The universe was against me recording this podcast today. I broke my tripod. The kids were supposed to go to Bible study and they didn't, so they're downstairs with Olivia, and just a lot of things happened today that were against this, but we're going to get it recorded. So if you would like to follow me on social media, please feel free to do so. I'm only active over on Instagram. I am the caffeinated_craft_mama, and I'm also working on using Ravelry more. I am Tamara Melton 2011 over there. I mostly use Ravelry for pattern purchasing, but I'm trying to get better about putting my FOs in there and actually leaving notes like what size needles I used and all that kind of stuff. Because I am wearing this sweater today. It is the Clearly, I think she calls it Clearly Changed now. It's the Clearly hoodie by Margaret Designs, and it is my most worn sweater. I will pop a photo in of myself wearing this. I love this sweater. I wear it all the time. I wear it to work. I wear it at home, and I really want to knit another one, and for the life of me, I don't remember what needle size I used. I know what yarn weight I used, but I don't remember the yarn brand. I don't remember where I think I got this yarn from Webb's. So I'm going to have to do some work. I have some, it's actually right here. I have some Barocco Lana's Light 100% wool. It's a non-superwash, and I'm sorry that's probably backwards now that I think about it because we're using the front-facing camera. It is a sport weight yarn, and you get 383 yards per 100 grams, and I have 5 of these. So I want to knit this sweater in this yarn sometime soon. So that's on the list of things to do. Bag made by me. Okay, so there are no FOs, and that's okay. That's what I wrote in my notebook. I actually do think I have an FO. Since I talked to you guys last, I did finish a pair of socks, but I don't know if I talked about them on here, so I'm not really counting them as an FO. And I technically have one other FO, but considering I have to frog back most of the second mitten, I will insert a picture here, because apparently Tamara can't count. You know, we have all learned as we become knitters that we cannot count at all, and I can't. So one mitten is significantly longer than the other. So I'm going to have to rip one back and figure out what I did and go from there, because I could probably have those finished over one of these snow days. It won't take me long. I don't remember the name of that pattern, but I'll put it right here for you. Okay, so let's get into whips. I have some whips to talk about, and then I have scrappy time to talk about. I pulled out my Scrappy Projects because I realized I hadn't talked to you guys about them in a while. And then I have a new hobby to talk about, something I said I would never ever do, but I'm going to do it, and I'm enjoying it. Sorry, I'm all wiggly. Drink your water, people. It's good for you. And I'm horrible at drinking water in the wintertime. Okay, so the first project I'm going to talk about is in my owl bag. The star fabric at the top and bottom glow in the dark. I got this off Etsy years ago. I don't even think the designer or the bag maker still makes bags. So let me show you the yarn label. This is Yarn Dragon Fibers, guys. She is going to be in Eureka Springs when I go this year. I already talked to her. I'm so excited. This is Flower Fields. And it is just Tamara's jam. It's purple with speckles of other colors in it. Isn't it pretty? This is the Salty Air Tea by Samantha Guerin. I think that's how you say her name. So the last time you guys saw this, oh goodness, was right here where my ring stitch marker is. Those are by Andy the Knitress, Lord of the Rings set. They're amazing. So I have gotten some progress on this. I am helical knitting the body, and really, I just haven't picked this up. I am keeping track of my days on the back, so you can see those light bulb stitch markers. For every one of those is a day that I have picked this up and worked on it. I like this method because it helps me realize that, yeah, a sweater might take me a year to knit, but in reality, I only worked on it for 40 days or whatever. So it just helps me realize that, yeah, that sweater was on the needles for an entire year, but it didn't actually take me a whole year. So what I need to do is I need to take this ball and I need to pick up the sleeves and knit the sleeves, which are next to nothing. They're like the 3 or 4 rows of stockinette and then the ribbing, so that I can just finish helical knitting the body and everything can go into the body of the sweater. My mom finished hers and it turned out beautifully. I was really proud of her. And so she's already cast on a second one, actually. She's already got a second one on the needles. So yeah, there is that. Will be a nice springtime knit to wear. Maybe to work. We'll see. My kids love my knits, but that's also a problem that they love my knits, because if I have like lace on or something, they like to get their little fingers in there and dig around. So it's not always the safest to wear hand knits around my kids. I wear this one, like I said, all the time, and they love the texture on this because it's got that diamond. So they'll like do like that. And they really enjoy it. So we'll see. I've got another one I'll talk about in a minute that, no, not yet, but one I will talk about in a minute that I think they're going to enjoy too. All right, this actually is another one that I'm going to wear to work. I am knitting a harvest cardigan with my mom and Holly. I'm knitting mine out of Queensland Collection recycled tweed in the colorway Rosewood. There's the label. There's the pretty yarn. It's like it's not showing up true to form. It's like a gray purple, but it's got flecks of all kinds of colors in it. It's going to go with anything. In true Tamara fashion, we are not using the correct yarn weight for the pattern. So, and also in true Tamara fashion, I did not swatch for this. I just started it. So I was working on gauge because I thought, well, this yarn's not really going to block out much because it is 40% recycled wool, 40% polyester, and 20% acrylic. So since most of it is synthetic fibers, it's going to block some, but not a lot. And so I just went with it. And I was checking gauge and I realized that my sweater, instead of being 42 inches around the bust, was going to be like 34 inches around the bust. So I am knitting a size 4XL. With my gauge, I will get close to a size large. So here it is. I have split for the sleeves, and I like to do my sleeves not long after I split for them. That way I can use everything, whoops, in the body and make the cardigan or sweater as long as I want. I like to mark my decreases. Now, this is not the decreases the pattern calls for. I knit how the pattern called for, and Amber, hi Amber, Amber looks at me and she goes, "That sleeve looks really big, Tamara. I don't think that's gonna fit." Oh, it's fine. It'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine. It was not fine. guys. When Amber tells you to do something, you do it. And she told me to try it on and make sure it was going to fit, and I didn't. And I get all the way down to like 3/4 sleeve length. I still had half the decreases to go. So number one, the sleeve was going to be way too long. Number two, it was huge. I had all this extra fabric under here. Tamara can't do that. I can have it be a little oversized, but I had like a handful of fabric under my arm. There was just too much. So I ripped it back and I did a bunch of math, and I am halfway. I think I have 8 decreases left on this sleeve. So that is the goal for tomorrow, to decrease through this and get the garter stitch cuff on so I can pick up the other side. So yeah, this is my harvest cardigan. And it's going to be beautiful, I think. All right. So next up, oh, Holly got me this bag. It says kind of sweet, mostly sarcastic. If I haven't talked about her much, Holly is my mom's best friend, and she has known me since I was about 7, 6, something like that. So, you know, she's allowed to say things like that and not get in trouble because she's usually right. Okay. Next up is a random cast on because I was frustrated. Well, okay, let me back up. So last time we had a big snow, like almost as big as the one we're going to have. I decided it would be a good idea to knit this shawl. This is the Chasing Blizzard shawl. Oops, it's backwards. Sorry. And I thought, well, if there's going to be a blizzard, we might as well knit a blizzard shawl, right? I mean, that's a thing, isn't it? And I love this shawl. I wear it a lot. It is gorgeous. It's just some Cascade Heritage and some old school, oh my goodness, her name is Meg. Bad Wolf Girl Studios. This is her like vintage pinup zombie back when she used to dye yarn. So anyway, I was thinking about my shawl and I thought, well, you know, we're going to have another blizzard. I should knit something because that's fun, right? To have that memory that, hey, you knit this while you were snowed in with your family for 6 days because you couldn't go anywhere because there's 18 inches of snow on the freaking ground. Y'all pray for me because it's going to be a long couple days. So I decided to start a whatever sweater. But it's kind of a whatever-ish sweater because it's a mixture of the Whatever sweater pattern by Julie Knits in Paris and the Flax sock pattern. So let me just hold it up and then I will explain to you what it is. Yeah, see, a whole lot of nothing, y'all. Well, it is a whole lot of something. It's just really small cord. Because does Tamara really need to be starting another sweater? No. Does she have any cords available that don't require cord connectors to make them big enough? No, she doesn't. Is she going to knit the sweater anyway? Yes, she is. So, what I did was I frogged the Lizzie sweater. It was not my time to knit that sweater. I was only able to do it every Monday, only when my kids were gone. And I was getting confused. I was getting lost. I was messing up. And I realized I was trying really, really hard to knit a sweater that I wasn't ready for. And that's okay. Like, it's okay that I'm not ready for an intricate brioche yoke on a sweater. So I have plans, and actually yarn already wound up, for a brioche shawl that Amber recommended because she's the queen of brioche, if you didn't know. And so I frogged that. So I had all this blue. And this is just Cascade Heritage in the colorway Royal. I've had it in my stash for years. And I got, at Christmas time, my Zoom group got together and did a stash vent swap. So the premise behind it was that we took 25 balls of scrap yarn that we had that were 10 grams at least. You could send a little more if you wanted, but they had to be at least 10 grams. And we swapped. Well, I got Courtney from Pearls of Paradise, and she sent me all this gorgeous yarn. And it has kind of been bugging me that I was just gonna, I don't want to say just, that I was going to put it into my blankets, because we do get a lot of love out of those blankets. I absolutely love Scrappy blankets, but I felt like they needed a little more love. So I decided to cast on this sweater. So the gray, that's the collar, is some Knit Pick Stroll I had. And then this one, the pinky maroony color, and the blue, light blue, were from Courtney. So what I'm doing is I had 200 grams of the dark blue, and I had 240 grams of the little balls of yarn. So I knit one of these, knit some blue, knit one of these, knit some blue. And on the sleeves, I am going to do 5 grams of each so that the sleeves match up. It's just going to be a hodgepodge of all kinds of colors, guys. This is going to be Tamara's sweater of many colors. And that's okay. I think it's going to be awesome, and I think I'm going to love it. So, yeah, I started this yesterday. Yes, I started this yesterday during Zoom. And I'm already halfway through my yoke increases, I believe. So, I mean, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. I probably would have had that sleeve done on the Harvest cardigan if I hadn't started this, but who cares? And this is Living in My Dragon Bag by me. And then the little minis are Living in a Christmas Bag by me. I hopefully will have a few more bags in the shop. There are a couple right now, but I mean, there's just like 3 or 4 in there, so nothing super exciting. Okay, my last whip is a sock. So we took my girls to the movie theater to see Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That was the first opportunity I had ever had to see them in theaters, along with my girls. William decided that it was a little too intense, that movie, for him, so he decided to go to Mimi's house and hang out with Mimi. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? So I decided to ask Amber to knit a toe for me, and you'll understand why in a few minutes. She brought me something I wanted to try on Saturday. So she knit me a toe, and then I started the sock when the movie started. So it's Living in my bag that my mom got me from Africa. And the toe is Knit Pick Stroll in the colorway Ash. And the rest is Mint Rain yarn in her Harry Potter colorway. I got all of that done, guys, from here. I started the first row before the movie started. I knit that entire sock. I am, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I fibbed. I am 9 rows away from the heel. And I stopped because we were at a dark part in the movie. Haha, I mean, the most of the movie is dark, but we were at a dark part in the movie, and I was having a hard time seeing what I was doing. Sorry, my working yarn was caught in my stuff. But I was pretty proud of myself because I did my gusset increases in the movie theater. So I have 9 rows to go, and I will switch out the heel because my mom's best friend Holly got this for me for Christmas? My birthday, one or the other. The cake is awful. And so I will do the heel and the cuff also in this ash color so that I can get the most out of this 50-gram ball. That is one of the things that I love most about Mint Rain Yarn is she does 50-gram sock yarn. And I love that because sometimes I'm a baller on a budget. Like, I don't have a lot of money for yarn. Not that I need to be buying any. I don't really need to be buying any. But, sometimes it's hard to pay $30 for a skein of yarn. Not that that yarn is not worth it, because it is. Because that's like a 8-row repeat, I think. 8 rows. 8-row repeat. So, that is a ton of work that she has put into this. But it's a lot easier to be able to pay $17.50 for a 50-gram skein than it is to pay $32 for a 100-gram skein. I will probably end up ordering a 100-gram skein because I have a couple of other people who would really enjoy socks out of that. My sister would be one of those people. So I will probably end up ordering more, but I just appreciate that she does that she does the 50 grams. So yeah, there's my plug for Mint Rain Yarn. She's a wonderful yarn dyer. You should go check her out. Okay, it is time for Scrappy time. I have 2 Scrappy blankets to talk about. First is in a bag by Amber. She made me this bucket bag over the summer. It is the best thing ever. I love it. And it is my precious. I don't even think I can fit her in the screen anymore, you guys. Oh, isn't she beautiful? So this is just a giant grandma's favorite dishcloth. And I am holding one skein of, I don't have the yarn label in here, do I? Yes, I do. Refine by Cascade Yarns, which is 75% wool, 20% nylon, and 5% viscose, and it's all recycled. And so I've been holding that, which looks like this, with a magic knot ball. So I have learned I don't trust magic knots. So I am actually getting to the magic knots and then looping it so I can go back through and weave in the ends because I just don't trust them. But I have 1, 2. This is the one currently connected to my project. And I have more yarn to add to them. So I have enough for several projects. But I also have 4 skeins, of the same yarn as the gray in a navy blue. So I have a feeling there will be a second one of these once I finish it. So the current plan is when I am almost out of this last 100-gram ball, I will start decreasing. But for right now, I'm just happy to keep going. I knit this during the Super Bowl, you guys. It was so bad. It was so bad. I'm a Chiefs fan, in case you didn't know. So bad. Oh, it was bad. So I sat there and knit a significant chunk because, as you can see, another stitch marker from Andy. It says my precious. I probably, let's see. I know I started where that blue was. I knit all of that during the Super Bowl. Because there wasn't really anything to watch on TV because it was awful and the commercials weren't very funny. So I'm going to move my stitch marker up so you guys can know where I was next time. So yeah, I'll move that up. And this is just like the squishiest, like best stress relief knitting ever. So I probably need to put this on my 60-inch cord. I have a 60-inch cord. I'm using my Knit Picks wooden needles. I don't normally use these. Fueled by coffee is what those say. I just prefer my Chow-Goo needles, but I still do use these on occasion. Mostly I prefer my Chow-Goo needles because I have shorties of most of them, so I can knit the sleeves in a circle because I'm a diva like that. But yeah. So yeah, there's my wooden needles. I have a 60-inch cord for this, so that's probably going to go on there pretty soon. And that is my giant dishcloth blanket that has already been called dibs. Richard already called dibs on that one. So little does he know he's not actually getting it. It's probably going to go to one of the girls because of this blanket. This is living in a bag made by me. I'm considering putting some of these giant bags in the shop. We'll see. But it is a gigantic square bag. I got this fabric for Christmas. My mom got me the Nightmare Before Christmas fabric for Christmas. Okay, this is my Crocheted Memories blanket. So it is essentially a cozy memories blanket, but for crocheters in this corner to corner. The pattern is by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. So since you guys saw this last, I have added this square, which was Hobie Christmas yarn from a couple years ago. That one was Bad Wolf Girl Studios. It's based on the villain from The Princess and the Frog. I can't remember what it's called. I got that in a swap. That was the show colorway from Yarn Dragon Fibers for Eureka Springs last year. That is... Oh, that is yarn I got from Europe. I won it in a giveaway and I made a muscle burrow out of it, and this is what I had left. And then I'm going to turn this. I also did this one, which was Mint Rain Yarns Platform 9 3/4. I got this one in a swap. That's Mint Rain Yarn. Witch's Britches, maybe? Witch's Brew or Witch's Britches, one or the other. And that is Knit Picks. A Knit Picks yarn that I knit a baby sweater and a baby hat for my cousin out of. So yeah, here is this one. So the plan for this blanket is to make it as big as our bed. My hope is for this to go on our bed, mine and Richard. So that's why I'm saying that one of the girls will get the knit blanket, because he's going to get this one. So I will take all those stitch markers out and start over. Oh, I missed a couple. There is also this one, which I knit Richard a muscle burrow out of. This is a yarn I got off the Yarn Adventure Truck last year at Eureka Springs, and I absolutely love it, and I'm really hoping they will be there again. And this is one I got at a swap. Okay, yeah, now, yeah, we've gone all the way around. Cool. So yeah, I enjoy this pattern a lot. It's like $1, I think, on Hannah's Ravelry, and she also has a video for it that you can look at, and I just think it's really pretty. So, and it's really easy, and the squares take me like 45 minutes. So I can do 1 or 2 on a Sunday, and it's okay. Okay, that is it for my current projects, but we are going to talk about a new hobby. I have a new hobby, guys. And a few of you who've been around for a while are going to roll your eyes at me because I specifically said I would never do this, but I did. So, oops, that's still connected. Hang on. I tried my hand at spinning. So these are Amber's. God bless Yarny friends. This is her Top Whirl spindle that is not friends with me. Okay, so let me tell you something about this thing. So I do not possess the gene that allows you to spin a top. Like those little wooden toys that people had when we were young. Okay, I cannot spin one. I cannot make them go. I've never been able to do it. Do you know what this requires? You to be able to spin a top. This is dumb. I appreciate Amber letting me try it, and I got some good yarn on there. And I got, oh, it's not gonna focus. Hang on. Come on. No, it's not gonna focus. But anyways, I got some good yarn on there. And I also spun, that's a hot mess, but I spun that on there. But in order for me to actually use it the way it is intended, where you spin it and then you draft from your yarn and you're drafting down, can't do it. Because I can't get it to spin more than 2 turns before it stops and starts spinning the other way, and you lose the spin on your yarn. So I was talking to the girls on Zoom about it, and they were all like, oh, try a Turkish spindle, try a Turkish spindle. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll see about getting one. And Amber's like, I have one, because Amber has everything. And so she very sweetly brought this over to my house at 6:30 this morning and hid it behind my air conditioner. So that I could give the Turkish spindle a try. And I will already tell you guys that I much prefer the Turkish spindle. I mean, number one, it's gorgeous. Andy made it. So it's just this gorgeous, look at how pretty that is. Guys, look at how pretty. And 2, I can get this one to spin. Like, let me show you. I'm probably going to fail at it now. See, like I can make this one spin. I can't make the other one spin at all. It just doesn't go. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I said, I just don't possess that gene that can make them go. So, yeah. So I'm trying my hand out at spinning. I forgot how difficult it is to learn a new hobby. You know, I've been knitting since I was 18. I've been crocheting since I was 12. And while I've learned new techniques in both of those areas, I've known how to do the basics for a really long time. So spinning has been good for me, but also really aggravating. They suggested I stick with about 15 minutes a day, and that's about the max I can do. I have been watching a lot of YouTube. Of course, I am a very proud graduate of YouTube University, so I know how to do everything because it's on YouTube. So I've been working on that, and I have some more fiber coming. I got some Knit Picks Wool of the Andes because they had it on sale. It's normally like $8.99 for 100 grams, and I got it for $6.74, $6.79 for 100 grams. So I ordered a couple colors in that, and it's just living in this little basket my friend gave me, Sarah. She's my work bestie. She gave me this cute little basket because I want to keep everything together, because the spindles will go back to Amber, and I am hoping at Eureka to be able to get one wooden Turkish spindle, and then I'll probably order one from Andy too, of the plastic, because I just like to try them both out and see. Amber has graciously also offered to allow me to borrow her electronic e-wheel Nano. It's little tiny, it fits in her hand. It's little bitty. So she said I could borrow that and give that a try. And then hopefully this summer I will get to try a pedal wheel, because my friend Sarah has a pedal wheel. And I'm sure that, in fact, she said I could at least give it a try and see if I like it. Because I don't know if I've mentioned this on here. We'll just go into life and junk. There's no reading that has happened really. I am applying to go back to school in the fall. So I am going to need things that don't require a ton of brain space. And what I've been noticing with Amber and Andy and Angela and Emily, they're all friends on my Zoom. They all spin. They talk about how mindless it is. And I have a feeling that's going to be something I'm going to need, because I'm going to need that ability, kind of like sock knitting. Sock knitting doesn't require me to think anymore. I can pick up a sock, look at it, and there we go. Especially because I've used the same sock recipe for the last 4 years at least. I've adjusted my numbers some, but I've pretty much done it the same way for a really long time. So I don't have to think about it anymore. And that's what Amber said that spinning, especially on an e-wheel, does for her. So I'm definitely going to need those between working full time and going to school. I'm going to need to have that ability to craft, but not think about it. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of stockinette sweaters, a lot of, just easy things in the fall. And that's okay. That's what knitting is for and crocheting is for, and really any art form is for. It's to calm your mind and make your reality less sucky. So, okay. Well, so we've talked about my new hobby. We've talked about all the snow that's coming. We've talked about, I think, pretty much everything. Liv moved in, so we have that now. She still goes and sees her mom every other weekend, but she's living over here with us now. So that's been a bit of an adjustment, mostly for her. We are a house full of your neurospicy people, and we can take some adjusting sometimes, and I know that. So I've been trying to give her as many outs as I can. She's actually downstairs with the kids right now, watching them while I get this recorded. So I am going to owe her a big chocolate bar after this. So yeah, plans for the snow days. We make baked goods every time we do snow days. So I have a really good gluten-free brownie recipe that we'll make, and we're making some banana bread, and I made stew and some gluten-free drop biscuits today. So we'll have lots of yummy warm food, because the days after the snow, it's supposed to be highs in the single digits. Doesn't normally get that cold here, so it's just, the whole place is going to shut down. Like our entire town, outside of Richard's work, of course, is going to shut down. He works at a local hospital, so we're not sure how he's going to get to work, because neither of our cars have a clearance of more than 6 inches. They will come and plow our parking lots after we have gotten 3 inches, but we still have to dig our own cars out. So we'll have to get out there and do that. And I highly doubt our road to the main road is going to be plowed anytime soon. So yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm tired. It's like 8:30 and I still have to clean all this up and edit this and get this up there tonight. So I am just gonna go, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm sure when I come back, I will have some sewing done, because my mommy fixed my sewing machine. Honest to God, you guys, this machine is older than I am, and I think it's just scared of her, because it messes up for me, and then the second she touches it, it works fine. It just, I think she's scarier than I am. I know she's scarier than I am. And she can make it work. So I'm hoping to have some bags finished, because I have a pile of bags cut out that I've just never sewn together. So that's one of the goals for snow days. The kids are going to have at-home school. They're going to have alternate methods of instruction, AMI days. So I'm going to be doing that with them. And yeah, I guess we're just going to be living our best snowed in life. So I will see you guys later. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and I will talk to you later. Bye.